Good morning, grade 8. Today is Wednesday, May the 6th, and today we are going to be talking about finding percents. So the difference between today's lesson and the things that we've done before is that today we need to think a little bit about some of the algebra that we've been doing, okay? I'm going to flip the screen over and I'm going to talk you through two of the questions, and you need to think about variables and algebra just a little bit to kind of get through this one, okay? Here we go. Okay, so here we are going to try to find the percent. And the question, when I read it, it goes like this. 30 is what percent of 150? Well, we know that 100, well, the word of is here, right? So this means multiplication. But 30 is usually the equal sign. So if I'm writing this out, I'm going to go 30 is what percent? That's my x, that's my variable. We'll call it y, just so I don't get confused with multiplication. Because of is multiplication, and then 150. So when I read this, the sentence turns into this algebra. And then what I can do is I can get my variable alone. And I know to do that, what I have to do is I have to divide both sides by 150. So it's going to go 30 divided by 150 equals y, and then this 150 divided by 150 is going to become one whole, which divided by y is just y. So now y is going to be this, and I can do that calculation. Let me pull up my calculator here. Just got to type the code in. Okay, so here's my calculator, and then I can go 30 divide key 150 equal sign, and it's going to be 0.2. But then if they want that as a percent, I have to multiply it by 100. So it's actually going to be 20%. Okay? So that's that first question there. Now, take a look at the second question. You might get a question that's worded like this instead. It says, what percent of 80 is 15? So that what percent, that becomes my variable. That's my y. What percent of is my multiplication? 80. The is my equal sign, and here I got my 15. Okay? So again, I want to get y on its own, so I'm going to divide both sides by 80. So it's going to be y times 80 equals 15, both sides divided by 80. Now I've got y equaling 15 over 80, and again, I'm going to use my calculator. So I'm going to go 15, divide key 80, hit my equal sign, and this is going to be 0.1875, which if I turn that into a percent is going to be 18.75%. Okay? And they'll tell you to the nearest tenth, to the nearest whole number. If I'm rounding this one to the nearest tenth, then this would be 18.8%, right? Because the tenth is this column and the 5 is big. So the 7 rounds up to an 8. If I say round to the nearest whole, then it's going to be 19%. Because the 7 in this case is big, and so the 18 bumps up to the 19. Okay, so on the homework page for today, if you flip over to that, you're going to see there's a whole bunch of questions that are basically a repeat of some of the earlier material that we've done. I'm not going to assign those. I'm going to start assigning you questions that are phrased like this, okay? If the question has decimals, you just put decimals there instead of whole numbers. You can have, like, let's say this is what percent of 8.4 is 2.9. Okay, let's just say those are the numbers instead. Well, instead of 80, you put 8.4. Instead of 15, you put 2.9. And then you just continue to calculate it out with the division, finding the answer from there, okay? All that stays the same. But there's quite a few questions that are word problems on this one. I'm going to assign quite a few word problems. You really need to read the questions carefully to figure out what you're doing here with your algebraic sort of sentence, okay? All right, guys, Good luck on this one. Oh, marking update. So I have Thursday off because my husband's going to take Thursday off work. He's going to look after my darling children, and I am going to go in the basement and mark. So your math journals that are due today, this morning at 9 a.m., I'm going to do my checklist to see who's on time and who isn't on time, and then I will mark them on Thursday. Okay, so you can expect the results of that at that time. All right, guys, thank you very much. Have a great day. All right, bye-bye.